It's time for some more King's Quest IV, The Perils of Rosella. We are just about to cross the troll cave and find out what's on the other side. Spoilers, it's a particular magic fruit that we need for our quest. So the first thing we need to do is wear the crown that we got quite earlier on from a prince. We had to kiss a frog and he turned into a prince and he gave us a nice little golden crown, magical golden crown that can turn us into a frog. And that's, as you know, that's the only way to swim through Waterfall is by being a frog. Okay, so now we're here. We can go inside the cave. There's a troll. Let's just pop back out here. Take a little sneak peek back in. All right. So that music means that we are somewhat safe. The problem you may have noticed is that it's very dark. Now, if we take a look at our inventory, we got a lantern, but it's currently unlit. So let's do something about that. Light lantern. Using a flint attached to the oil lantern, you light it. The lantern burns with a bright glow. Hooray. And it's done. The Rosella sprite is a bit more different than what I remember. Interesting. Oh well. Let's carry on through the cave. Oh, the troll. Let's go over here. Oh no. Oh no. Oh, well. Oh, that's embarrassing. Let's do a little well, you can see what happens when we do a death. Roberta Williams comes along, thanks us for playing King's Quest IV, The Perils of Rosella, and has the audacity to say, "Be more careful." I think you'll find, Roberta, we were super careful, but the troll showed up anyway. Okay, we're gonna do a little zoom through the cave to get to the next point, and I'll see you there. And we're back. So traversed a little bit of the cave. You can see the exit over here, so that's pretty promising. But let's not celebrate too early because you see this? You see these little black lines? There's something amiss here. So if I do look, it's the darkest cave. See it opening. If I do look ground, the earth floor of the cave is cold and hard. Okay, look down. I thought it would tell me the nature of what the thing is that let me do a quick save here. So if I do this, I fall down a chasm. And that was kind of annoying that it didn't. Anyway, I would have expected the game, when I said look at the ground, that it would say, oh, you can sort of see a chasm. Anyway, so I guess you kind of have to die there the first time that you get there. But to cross it, we're going to put down the board. Feeling in the dark, you manage to place the board across the crevice. Now, can you cross it safely? Sure can. Feeling in the dark again, you manage to pick up the board without dropping it into the crevice. Amazing. All right, so now that we've done that, we're going to do another save. And we're going to head toward that opening. Hooray. And in we go. I guess I should say out we go. Ooh. Spooky. Let's look. From here, a huge muddy swamp spreads eastward. Large moss-covered swamp trees tower overhead, while grass tufts and reedy plants poke up from the mire. You can hear the many chirpings and croakings of unseen swamp creatures. So you may see here, I could kind of wander out into the muck, But there's going to be a point where it's too deep and too mucky, and I'm just going to sink and die. So that's not very cool. What I need to do is jump from lily pad to lily pad. I guess they could also be kind of mossy rocks, I suppose, because I don't think lily pads could really support a person's weight. Are we all enjoying this amazing jumping action? What's this? Let me move up a bit closer here. Beep, beep, beep. All right, so we're gonna look. You see a small island in the middle of the huge swamp. Upon this island grows a scrawny little tree. A large glistening fruit hangs from a small branch. Unfortunately, a huge cobra protects it. Well, that's definitely going to be a problem. Whoops. My last command was look and not jump. Ooh. So this last jump is a little bit too much. So what I have to do is get my board and put that down. So let's do a save. We'll save as swamp. Let's do a little shimmy across the board. So if I get too close to that cobra, Rosella's done for, because it is there to protect the magic fruit. Who put the cobra here? Why is it protecting the fruit? Questions we may never know the answer to. Not may. We will never know the answer to, probably. It's an adventure game. Things don't need to make sense, as we have seen and will continue to see. So the idea here is, well, let's first take a look at the cobra. A huge cobra protects the small tree that bears the wondrous fruit, the fruit that your father's life depends on. King's Quest has a thing about putting snakes to guard things. There's another snake coming up in King's Quest 5 that blocks the mountains, because apparently there's only one road to lead up there. Anyway, if we do King's Quest 5, I'm sure we'll see that. Plus the possibly best line in voice acting in any game ever, I think you'll find. But we'll leave that to when we get there. Anyway, the thing here is that we need to deal with this particular cobra. So the way to deal with any snakes, if old, perhaps racist cartoons have taught us, is to play some music. Play flute. Now the cobra is all hypnotized. Nervously, you raise the flute to your mouth and begin to play a melodic tune to the big cobra, who begins to sway with the music. Soon the snake is mesmerized by it and falls into a hypnotic trance. Yes. So let's quickly get here, get fruit, and quickly shimmy away from the cobra. Now you heard that little fanfare. That means we did something super good. And in this case, we got one of the things that we need to win the game. All right, so let's do a save, so we don't have to do that again. And now we're gonna do another shimmy across here. Let's pick up the board because we're gonna need it to cross the chasm in the cave again. And now we're gonna continue on jumping. So here's where we're gonna do a little fast forward, and we'll see you on the other side. All right, we've made it across, and you know what? Since there's nothing really more different in the cave than just redoing everything else, how about we fast forward to when we're outside the waterfall? See you there. And here we are, finally outside the cave and out of the waterfall and ready to continue our adventure. That cave is a little bit notorious because it's really, particularly having the troll in there, it's sort of a fake difficulty situation, because the game forces you essentially to keep saving before you enter a new room, because if the troll shows up, you're toast, because as soon as you move into another screen to say try to avoid the troll is basically right on top of you because he doesn't sort of despawn or whatever. So you have to keep saving, reloading, saving, reloading. It's just kind of there to waste your time. And that's really a thing in these early adventure games of the 80s and early 90s. and maybe even, beyond that, is the games themselves are not really that long, and they're not really that difficult once you know the puzzles and know the solutions. But what they have in them is sort of these elements to keep you playing for as long as possible. Now, you may recall that our current objective is to get the unicorn and bring it to the evil fairy Lolotte, because she's all wanting a unicorn, because she's just like that. Now we can't catch the unicorn yet. We're missing a particular item, which is where we're going to be going next. But first, we need to go talk to this friendly little character. First, maybe let's take a look inside this house. Knock. That's not clear. Knock a door. You knock loudly on the shanty door. A woman's voice enters. Just come on in. All right. Open door. Hello. The inside of the fisherman's shack looks almost as shabby as the outside. You see a tired-looking woman kneading bread at the counter. All right, let's shimmy on over here. Talk woman. You introduce yourself to the old fisherman's wife. With little patience, she responds, "What are you doing here, young lady? Can't you see I'm busy? We have enough problems without worrying about you." God. Just wanted, I don't know, like a cup of tea or just to talk. We don't need to talk about your problems. Anyway, so I can't do much with her yet. I need to deal with the fisherman. So let's go do that. Here he is. There goes my friend the seagull. Look. You are standing at the end of an old weathered pier. From here to the west, you can see nothing but ocean. Look, fisherman. You see a grizzled old fisherman on the pier. Apparently, he isn't having any luck today. Talk, fisherman. You say a few words to the old fisherman, however, he must have other things on his mind as he seems to ignore you. And indeed, he's like, "Get all the way," and just trots on back to his house. Why don't we follow him? I'm sure he'll be fine with that. And his wife is, all that ready to accept visitors. Well, she just said I could come on in, so let's take a look. Hello again. It's me. So, talk fisherman. You talk to the grizzled fisherman and as he sits at the table. Sighing, he tells you, "Them fish ain't been biting lately. If things don't get better soon, I don't know what to do." So these guys, this family, this man and wife, they're on pretty hard times. But I am a princess, although that doesn't really help. And I'm also disguised as a peasant girl, so they won't believe me. But you might remember that I've got a pouch of diamonds. Maybe they'd like that. Give pouch. You offer the pouch of diamonds to the fisherman, who takes it gladly. Wife. Let's not bother giving these people names. "Give the girl my fishing pole in trade," he tells his tired wife. Obediently, she retrieves the pole and hands it to you. "Thank you very much," she says, smiling. "You have certainly helped us." Not really sure how, because now they can't catch food, and they have a pouch of diamonds in a land that doesn't seem to have an economy. So, I guess we've helped them in some way that we can't really fathom, so we're going to leave them alone. But now I got a fishing rod. And now the game becomes Animal Crossing. Not really. But what we can do now is fish. Eagerly, from the end of the pier, you fling the line of the fishing pole into the ocean. Hooray! But, as we've learned from the fisherman, them fish ain't biting. Oh, I got a boot. Well, that's also good. Almost immediately, you feel a sharp tug on the line. Something pulls and fights your line as you slowly reel it in. There it is. You've caught yourself An old waterlogged boot. But since you have no need of a boot, you toss it back into the water. Marvelous. Right, so what I need to do is bait the hook, because I have a worm. Scrunching up your delicate nose, you gingerly bait the hook of the fishing pole with the large earthworm. Stupendous. Now we can fish. Tum-ta-tum-ta-tum. Almost immediately, you feel a sharp tug on the line. Something pulls and fights your line as you slowly reel it in. There it is. You have caught yourself a fine fat fish. Yes. So we're going to need that fish very soon. So I'm going to do a little save game. Fish. Now we're going to go for a swim. This took me so long to figure out as a kid. Because if you swim out to sea here, you just get some ocean. And there are two things that can happen, depending on what screen you're on. You can see a whale, big whale, or you can get eaten by a shark. Actually, you get eaten by both of them. But the shark is bad news. The whale is better, but we need to get something else first. So it took me so long as a kid to realize that you can swim out here to an island, and this is Genesta's island. Ooh, this is exactly what I need. Get a feather. So when you first start the game and you see the opening cutscene, Genesta flies off to the west. So I guess that's supposed to give you sort of a hint that she lives that way, and maybe you should try swimming out to see where she might live. But aside from that, it doesn't give you much guidance, and it doesn't really even tell you that you can see this island. Because from the pier, when I said look, it said you see nothing but ocean. So Rosella must have swam quite a long way. Anyway, that's Genesta's castle. It's pretty nice. You have found yourself upon a most beautiful and exotic island. In the center of this island, a wondrous ivory palace towers. Behind you, the azure ocean washes gently upon the island's sparkling beach. So there's not too much we can do here. We can mostly just wander and take in the sights of how beautiful Genesta's island is and her castle. And she's got a little pet swan and a park bench, because, you know, you need that. Nice little swan bridge. Genesta's tiny fairies guard the palace door. So that's really the first hint that, oh, this is actually Genesta's palace. So we could go in and see Genesta, and she's very sick in bed. But we're not going to waste too much time because there's nothing that we can get from that. And we'll be back here later anyway. So we're going to just cross this bridge. Dum-ta-dum-ta-dum. Up there. Actually, let's take a look. You are standing in the lovely garden of this enchanted island. Beside you rises a grand ivory palace. Within this garden, a bridge emblazoned with the figures of swans arches over a little pond. A beautiful white swan floats serenely upon it. I want to take a look at the bird in the tree. Look tree. You see many unusual and lovely trees on this island. Unusual? What's so unusual about them? They're trees. Look bird. There are many okay, fine. Well, I guess that particular bird wasn't that important. So the important thing to get from this island before we get to our next sort of major checkpoint, if that's the word, was that feather. So let's actually take a look at that feather. It's a peacock feather. It's pretty nice. Let me do a save. Island. So what I need to do now is swim out to sea again. And you'll remember that I talked about that there are sharks and whales. And there's the whale. And I need to pull a Pinocchio and get swallowed by the whale. Because what else would you do? Horrors, you have been swallowed by a huge whale. Phew, this place stinks. Well, okay, fine. Let's do a little swim. Da-da-da-da-da. I mean, I'm sure it's fine. This particular screen is also a little bit notorious in that it is not like any whale in the entire world. For one thing, whales don't have human-like teeth. Look bottle. You don't have it. Oh, okay. Get bottle. Okay. Look bottle. It's a glass bottle and it's got a thing inside. So open bottle. You open the glass bottle and retrieve the imprisoned note. Read note. Anybody out there? I had a condor drop this bottle in the nearest ocean to beg for help with King's Quest 1. Help me fight this fire-breathing dragon. Callbacks. Sierra Games had a lot of these moments, particularly the ones that are part of series. They would call back to earlier entries of that series. So this is a reference to, in King's Quest 1, you need to fight a fire-breathing dragon. And you also have to solve a sort of puzzle with a condor to get to... what does the condor do in King's Quest 1? It brings you... You need to sort of jump and catch it, and it carries you to a previously inaccessible island. And if we play King's Quest 1 on the channel, we may get to see some of that. But for now, that's all. Is that the only thing on the note? No, there's different callbacks here. So, help me! I'm lost at sea in King's Quest 3. I'm in with a bunch of nasty pirates who want to feed me to the sharks. If you can, come quick. So again, King's Quest 3. That's the thing that happens. Anything else? Ah. Hey, I need help here. The wicked Horned King has had me thrown into his dungeon. If I don't get out of here, then evil will rule the world in the Black Cauldron. Black Cauldron was, I think... Was it Roberta's... It wasn't Roberta's first game, but it was one of the very early Sierra adventure games, and it's based on the Disney movie, The Black Cauldron. And I remember there was an interview where they were talking about the development of the Black Cauldron, and I guess Disney or whoever was sort of paying to have this made. I mean, it must be Disney. They didn't like the particular scenarios that Roberta was coming up with because it was very dark. But essentially Roberta was like, no, this is the way I'm going to make the game. And if you don't like it, then I'm not making it. And so I guess from there, they're like, okay, just do what you like. So isn't that amazing? Roberta Williams is one of the pioneers of adventure games, and especially as a female game designer and developer, just a pioneer in so many ways. I myself mentioned that this game, Perils of Rosella, is the first big adventure game that I had ever played. But as a kid, I didn't really, I guess, appreciate the fact that it was essentially one of the very first adventure games that featured a female protagonist in this sort of way. But, I was a kid and it was just cool. I was playing a game. I didn't really realize. Look, skeleton. The skeleton of an unlucky man. Let's call him James. Rests atop the wreckage of a small boat. I don't know if James is a reference to anything. Or if it's just some sort of tongue-in-cheek. Tongue. So here, well, we need to get out of this place, right? Because we're not going to be of any help to anybody. So here comes, let's do whale. Here comes another section of this game that is designed to waste your time, because you need to climb this very slimy tongue. And you usually sort of fall off. Yep, there it is. There it is. I was so close. So close. Let's see. Oh, no. Okay, let's try again. Third time's a charm. Dun, 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 dun. Get onto the... No. Okay, all right, let's try that again. Now I'm going to eventually run out of oxygen, so hopefully we don't die by the time I actually get. If I do a little bit more of a... No! Okay, number four. Let's try from down here. Is this better? Maybe if I actually do a diagonal shimmy. Nope, okay. All right, let's try again. If I fall again from here, then we'll just do... Whoa, okay. Let's fast forward to when we actually get there, shall we? Oh my god. Finally, we've made it. This is the stuff I mean. These sections. Oh, come on. Okay, here we are again. So this is what I was talking about when these games add essentially fake difficulty and segments in the game that just prolong the running time for no other reason than to prolong the running time. Okay, so let's look around. Swallowed by whale, yes, stinks. So what you need to do is you gotta tickle the uvula with the feather. Or I guess just the roof of the whale's mouth. Because you need to pull a Pinocchio. You frantically tickle the throat of the whale with the big peacock feather. You begin to feel a quiver under your feet, which quickly turns into a mighty tremble. Suddenly you hear a thunderous achoo, because that's how whales sneeze. Everybody knows. And you are swept out of the whale's mouth in a tremendous wave of ocean water. Poof. Again, you find yourself swimming in the ocean. But where are we? It's lucky that we've got an island up there. Now, I'm pretty sure that when I was playing this as a child, because of my very crappy monitor, I couldn't see that there was an island there. So I just kind of happened to find this island. But then when I got here, I was stuck. Actually, I wasn't stuck here, but there's something that I missed. But let's take a little look around. You have found yourself stranded upon a desert island. Also, it seems, have others before you. Now what are you gonna do, Rosella? Wah, wah, wah. Look, bird. A pelican visits you on this desert island. I mean, he's just there. We can talk to the pelican. You feel silly trying to talk to a pelican. This is a King's Quest. You should never feel silly that you're talking to animals. Look. Oh, I guess, yeah, we already know that the pelican's here. So, oh, okay. Goodbye. Goodbye, pelican. Uh-oh. I hope he comes back. Because I needed to do something with him. And I was just talking. Oh, boy. Oh, boy. All right, well, as we're waiting for him to come back, look, tree. Only one lonely palm tree grows here. Yes. Are we really stuck from the pelican? Maybe I need to leave the screen and come back. Let's do that. Dum-ta-dum. Okay, good. Because he's got a thing that we need. Now, I'm not exactly sure how you're supposed to know that the pelican's hungry, but you're supposed to throw the fish to Pelican. Nope. You throw the stinky dead fish to the pelican. Greedily, he catches it in his large bill, and as he does so, you notice something shiny fall from his bill onto the ground, and off he goes. So what could he have dropped? Let's take a look. You see a shiny whistle lying on the ground. Great. Get whistle. Yes. So the whistle is good because that's our ticket off of this island. But there's one more thing that we need to get. And this is another one of those puzzles that is kind of made artificially difficult. So if I say, look ground out here. Oh. Did they add that? You look but see nothing except sand. Oh, okay. So if you look a little bit when you're closer to the boat, so I think they added this little hint. So that's the hint to go inside the boat. Oh, okay. You look at the ground inside the wrecked boat. What's this? Why, it's a golden bridle. You pick it up and carry it with you. So I have a story about this. Now, this is something that I had missed the first time that I played the game, and you need that bridle for, what else? The unicorn. So before I tell my story, let's blow the whistle, shall we? Tweet! And we get a dolphin friend. You put the shiny silver whistle to your lips and forcefully blow into it, producing a loud toot. To your astonishment, a friendly dolphin appears just offshore and jabbers excitedly at you. Great. So let's take a look at the dolphin. Look, dolphin. A bottlenose dolphin pokes its nose out of the water and chatters noisily. Can we talk to the dolphin? Talk, dolphin. You speak to the dolphin and it chatters back. So what you're supposed to do, you're supposed to ride dolphin? Yes. And the dolphin takes us back to Tamir. Great. So the story about the bridle, as I mentioned before, when I at the age that I played this game, I didn't know a lot of English. I was familiar with English because of TV and obviously playing games, but not familiar with a lot of words. Vocabulary wasn't that high. So I didn't know what a bridle was, number one. Oh, here we are, back in Tamir. Whoops. Thanks, dolphin friend. So in the book, in the manual for King's Quest IV, there was this list of potential verbs that the game would understand, and one of them was the word bridle as a verb. When you put it on a horse, you bridle the horse. I didn't know what the word meant, and I thought it was said brittle. So I remember asking my mom, I would have asked it in French, but essentially, what does brittle mean? And she was like, just stop bothering me. No, I don't think that actually ever happened. I think I made that up, but I just didn't know what the word meant. And, would not have known what to done with it had I found it. Anyway, we are well on our way to finishing this game. We're about, I'd say, we've done one of the 5 major plot points. We got the magic fruit, and we're on our way to get the unicorn. Now there's going to be more to do. Only 91 points of 230. So there's going to be quite a few more episodes. Lolode is not going to be happy with just a unicorn. Let's just say that. So I hope you've been enjoying this adventure, The Perils of Rosella, King's Quest IV. And if you do like this, come on for the next episode. I'm going to try to do this every Sunday. So next week we will go catch yourself a unicorn. That'll be fun. So thanks very much for watching, guys, and we'll see you next time. Bye-bye.